Hey, what's up, guys? This is PetZergling bringing you another FPVOD. This has been a while since I made one, and this has been a while since I played iCup. I'm kind of rusty, but in compensation for that, this is versus D players. It's during Korean hours, so I mean, D players are at least legitimate to bash right now. And this is actually a video response to a question posted on Team Liquid. It had to do with new age vulture builds in TvT versus not to say old school, but it's basically when you go vultures on a vulture-based map and your opponent goes goliaths, how not to get steamrolled. And this guy, he was okay. I think the APMs this game, I was 196 APM and he was 192, and he was Korean, but he was actually pretty bad for Korean. But I hope this is a good enough example. I mean, I think he could have played a little bit more aggressive, and he didn't really punish me for stuff that I did, but once again, this is a decent example, and, I guess standard stuff for the basics, supply depot on 9, you always want to build your depot next to your CC and TvT if you're playing a standard game, just because it helps your minerals. Like, that's kind of an out-of-way depot. That depot will never get in the way of anything, and it's really close to the minerals, and it'll get by. And basically, the standard build that I like to do for TvT, at least nowadays, is 11 racks, 11 gas, and I started doing that also in TvP. Basically, it's just the fastest possible way to get a factory, and it also, gets out of reasonably early barracks. You can lift it in scout, and you can build a few marines in case you get cheese there. And there you see I take the 11 gas, and you have to cut an SCV here if you go for 11 gas, 11 racks, unless you get, some sort of godly mineral positions. But I mean, you see it wasn't that really big of a deal, and it actually gets my gas out surprisingly fast compared to normal builds. And I built the barracks once again close to my mineral line because I want to get my factory out faster. A lot of players, if they want to get their factory out faster, they'll sacrifice a little bit of econ if they want to move the barracks to the very side of your base and then lift it. But I usually try and get as much information with my scout as possible. And you see I actually scout pretty late. That's just to ensure that I have a full 200 minerals. Sometimes, let's say his SCV came in my base now, I would need to pull an SCV, but I'm not going to do that because he didn't. So I can just build the depot a little bit early just to make sure I have everything. And right away, I'm going to pull this SCV off my barracks. See how my gas, I got my gas just a tad bit too early, and you can actually take it a little bit later, but it's not that big of a deal. And yeah, I'm not sure if you guys saw, but my account name was Uzumaki Naruto 2. I'm not actually an anime watcher. That's just kind of a joke to make fun of people. And I'm scouting right there. And I keep my SCVs on gas just in case I need to put down a second factory, because sometimes people like to go 2 factory heavy vulture builds. And you saw it looks like I bunched a bunch of SCVs there, but what you do is if you have an SCV that's kind of stuck in your minerals but not mining, you select a bunch of SCVs and then hold shift and then right click. And now you see I know that it looks like I think he pulled SCVs off gas, so I'm going to lift my barracks up and I'm just going to float that over. I'm not even going to build any more marines. I'm just going to pull an SCV over and build my command center as fast as possible. I mean, as you see, I transition, like you see my factory is just a little bit ahead of his, like his is still building, and that way that even if he goes for like a 2 vulture build, I can build my CC before my vulture, and I'm going to build that right now. And we both built 1 marine. I mean, it's pretty standard, and both of our SCV scouts are running around, and I'm not really like too hesitant to get his SCV scout out of my base, I guess. Like, I'm not freaking out about it, but I just want to keep mine alive. Like, sometimes what people do, like, see, now he's got 3 SCVs back on gas right away, and I'm still keeping only 1 on because I'm going to go full vulture. So, I mean, right away, yeah, see, I see the machine shop. So right away, I know he's going to go for, I mean, if he puts down a starport, he could do mine drops, but I mean, Longinus is a really good map for vultures. Like, it's got the high ground, it's got, well, I mean, it's got the high ground, low ground, so you can use mines, but at the same time, your main is not in a high ground. Fuck, I should have killed that SCV, but I don't really care too much. Like, I just want to keep my stuff alive. Like, one thing a lot of people do, and you see in pro games, is they, like, run around in the middle and, like, they do cute stuff with their units. And, I mean, if you're a pro gamer, that's cool, but on iCup, like, people do fucking retarded stuff. Like, I think this guy is fast expanding, but I mean, he could have like proxied 2 barracks or something retarded, and like, it's really frustrating when you lose that shit. And I'm gonna put my machine shop down, and I'm gonna get mines, and I also get my armory, like, just in case, like, he might go like wraiths or something. But I saw he pulled SCVs off gas, so I mean, at the very least, he's just gonna go like one at Starport Wraith. And I see my command center is almost done. And I'm going to transfer some SCVs, and that wasn't a lot of SCVs I'm transferring. I only transferred, like, I think 6 there, but it's really not a big deal in TvT. I mean, this is, like, the only stage in the game when you actually need a lot of minerals, and so, like, if you transfer a lot of SCVs, like, you're hurt a little bit, but I mean, right away, after maybe, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes, you pretty much just only use gas. And you see he takes the second gas right away, so I know that he's going to go, like, not a vulture build. So it's kind of like, you got to kind of think, because pretty much everything in the Terran mech line beats vultures, except for, well, everything does. And so now, like, I need to use my vultures for something, and I thought I had got mines in this time, and you see I have a bunch of minerals that I'm like, maybe I'll build my factory, and then I'm like, fuck, I didn't, I forgot to get mines. And so that's pretty stupid on my part, but right away, like, I'm going to put up a contain. Like, he doesn't know exactly what I'm doing. Like, see, he built a Goliath, too. I mean, he's playing kind of silly careful, I guess. Like, you can get an armory this early, but there's no reason to build a Goliath this early. So I'm not too sure what his strategy is. So I put SCVs back on gas, and fuck, all my vultures just walked into his tanks, and he, like, no, I know that he got siege mode, and he's just been sitting there. And that's not good. So I fixed all the rallies for all my factories there. I had them all hotkeyed. And I'm still gonna, I have 3 SCVs on gas in my main, and I don't even build my refinery in my natural expansion. And now, I'm getting my vulture spread out, I'm waiting to put down mines. Like, I should have been able to put them down a long time ago, but I'm really lucky this guy didn't attack. So, yeah. I'll get my barracks out right away, but see, that wasn't really a big deal. Like, he didn't go vultures, so I didn't need academy, and then I got my 4 factories. Now, like, right now, he's probably only got 2, maybe 3 factories, but because I've just been pumping vultures, like, you see, I have a decent mineral count, and, like, I still have 4 factories down, so, I mean, I could really transition into a bunch of shit if I wanted to, but, like, the thing with vultures is, I'm gonna try and get map control, and because it's Longinus, like, map control is, like, double important, because, like, you need to get those double gas expos. Like, if you get a double gas expo against the Terran, like, see, I told my SCV to go down to the double gas expo, but the pathing is a little fucked up, and it's probably a misclick by me, but the SCV ended up, like, behind, like, under my minerals, and then I thought it was AFK, so I kind of forgot about it, and then right now, I should have already started my CC in my double gas expo, and, like, he's trying to use, he's trying to use the Marine to scout, like, he was hoping I didn't put mines, but, I mean, like, that pretty much scared him there, and now I realize that he's got, like, a bunch of units, but, I mean, Terrans have absolutely no way to deal with mines, so, I mean, he's got 2 options. He can, like, invest heavily in drop tech, which could, like, be a super big failure. I mean, you usually don't want to go drop tech this early in the game, just because, like, it cuts from your factory production. You pretty much can't take your 3rd base, and so, like, I'm not too worried about drop tech, but, I mean, drop tech is pretty much the counter to vultures. Like, if you get, like, a couple, like, maybe a control group of Goliaths, put them in 3 drop ships, and then drop them in their mineral line, like, that's... Like, if you see, like, a noob going, what is it, fucking vultures, you just drop a bunch of Goliaths in the mineral line. And you see, like, my expo timing, like, now it's normal, because that was, like, now you saw both of our SCVs went at the same time. But I killed his because I have vultures, and he's kind of worried about mines there. But in reality, like, I don't even have any mines there because he had tanks. So I'm going to try and just get, like, as many fucking mines as possible. And now, like, I have a little bit of excess in minerals. Like, I'm not ready to, like, start pumping out of all my factories yet. I'm going to move up here, and I'm going to try and be cute and get mines on these tanks. And then I realized that I didn't bother investing in vulture speed, and he's got tanks, but I got 1 tank, and I hurt that other one, so that's actually not too bad. And, you see, now I have a decent excess in minerals, and, like, I'm not a pro gamer, but, like, I'm a decent player, and, I just like having an excess because that allows me to build up a lot of supply depots. Because, I mean, right now I have a little cushion. But, I mean, in theory, let's say I was playing a perfect game right now. I probably should have taken my gas, and I should have started building more tanks and Goliaths. But, I mean, now I'm at the point where I'm producing a bunch of tanks, and I'm going to get my starports down. Like, that's the thing about this double gas expo. Like, I'm just going to, while I'm producing tanks, I'm just going to put down 2 starports, but I don't need to exactly produce them yet. And there, see, like, I transferred some SCVs. I, like, split them a little bit. Like, if you really split the SCVs in half, like, it helps a lot. But, yeah, and I realized that command center was off-center, so I was kind of being stupid there, but... And I guess, once again, if you want to play optimal, when you get those double gas expos, you want to send 2 SCVs over and build 2 refineries. And right now, I think he's playing kind of stupid because I saw him win for the early academy, and he must be, like, scanning in front of his base. Like, I think he's actually kind of worried about the mines because he's still, like, I looked with my vulture there to see if he's going for his gas expo, and he hasn't yet. So I think, like, he's probably moving towards it now, and he almost looked like he wanted to take his mineral only, which, I mean, it's good if you go heavy vulture on this map. Like, the mineral only is actually, like, this is probably one of the only maps where you can use a mineral only in TvT, and it's actually viable. But like you see now, he builds that command center, and I just fuck his SCV up, and I want to delay his double gas as much as I can. And now when